What I'm saying is I want you to get started. Practice excellent. Think bigger. Reach further. Dig deeper. And live from there. Live from that. Live Life Mogul. Hey, it's Lene Javette, and this is the Live Life Mogul podcast. Woo, 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 woo. That's my attempt to make Simons, right? First of all, I want to thank you all for tuning in for this week's podcast. Let me tell you that it is about to be fire. We are going to talk about going from mediocre to mogul today. But before we do that, let me introduce myself. Most of you already know me, but for those of you that do not, I am Lene Javette. I go by the Mogulist. People come to me, they talk to me, they find me when they want to go from mediocre to mogul. But for those of you that don't really understand what that means, we're going to talk about that today, okay? If you are just tuning in or this is your first time listening to my podcast, you can catch me live on Facebook and or Instagram. Today's our first day going live on Instagram for the podcast. At 12 o'clock West Coast time, Pacific time, normally. Today I'm a little bit late, but normally I'm live at 12 o'clock when we record the podcast. I do it on my Facebook page, and then I upload it on all of the what do you call them? Podcast platforms. I don't know why I'm nervous today, Alice. Today I'm nervous. I don't know if it's because I'm live on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm a little bit nervous today. But you can catch us on all of the different social media platforms as well as all of your favorite podcast platforms. So we are on Stitcher, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Play, we're on iTunes, we're in the Google Play Store, we're on iHeart, so we're everywhere. You can always go back and catch the replay if you miss us live. Let me give a shout out to our sponsor. This week's sponsor is the Focus 2020 Vision event that's taking place in New York next month, September 22nd. Your girl will be there. I will be in New York City. So if you are in New York and you're one of my clients or you're somebody in my audience, please let me know because I want to see you next month when I come to your city. So this in particular podcast is sponsored by Focus2020Vision.com. Come out. They have an event. We're going to be on the water. We'll be on a yacht. I wish I had the actual piece of information in front of me, but if you want to build your business, if you want to work on your imagery, if you want to work on personal development, financial development, come check out the Focus 2020 Vision event happening next month. Now, today we're going to talk about how to go from mediocre to mogul. Now, I'm going to say this again. If you are on here live, make sure you share this podcast because we are going to get in it. We're going to talk about it. And hopefully by the time you get off here, you will leave and you will no longer be mediocre. Let me say this. We're going to start with, let me say this. The conversation we're going to have today is not meant to be rude or disrespectful or mean to anybody, but it really is to elevate you and take you to the next level. If you get offended, that means I'm talking to you. Okay? Just so you know. So let's start out with what are you mediocre? We're going to start with that. Are you mediocre? I'm going to tell you that you're mediocre. I know you don't want to hear that. Most people don't want to hear that they're mediocre, but the truth is we're all mediocre. What does mediocre mean? Mediocre means that you are not living up to your full potential. That's basically what it means. If you look it up in the dictionary, it will mean ordinary. It might mean lackadaisical. It might be stationary. It could mean basic, right? And when you say that to somebody will be like, I'm not basic. I'm not mediocre. Well, I would ask you this. And let me say, this is the reason why I say that we are all mediocre. If you're making $75,000 a year, why aren't you making $150,000? If you're making $250,000 a year, how come you're not making $500,000? If you're making $1 million, how come you're not making $5 million? If you're making $10 million, how come you're not making $100 million, right? Mediocre just means that you are flatline, that you're doing what everybody else is doing, okay? So if you are looking around at your life and what you're doing is the same thing as what your friends is doing, and your business is the same place as where somebody else's business is, and your marriage is the same place where somebody else's marriage is, and you're not doing any better, and you're not trying to get to the next level, and you're not trying to go any further, you're mediocre. Okay? Now, being mediocre is not a bad thing if that's where you want to be. If you want to do what everybody else does and you cool where you at, go ahead and turn it off right now because I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to people who want to go from mediocre to mogul. So if you cool being mediocre, if you're cool where you're at, then this is not the conversation for you. This is for people who say, you know what, my life is good, it's straight, I ain't tripping, but I know it could be better. I know that there's something more than this. I know that I was called for something more than this. I know that there's something bigger and better in me, and I'm not nurturing it. I'm not feeding it. I'm not doing the things I need to do to be better. I am just living my life. I am mediocre. If that is you, go ahead and put your church finger up and say, that's me. That's me. Lord knows that's me, right? And the reason why I say it's everyone is because there's always another level. Even if you make 100,000, there's another level called 200,000. Even if you make 500,000, there's another level called 1 million. What happens is we get to certain levels and then we get complacent. And that's how we become mediocre. Mediocre doesn't mean that you are living on the bottom. It doesn't mean that you're poor. It doesn't mean that you go without. It means you're not living up to your full potential. So you could be making $1 million and still be mediocre. You could be making 5 million and still be mediocre. Are you living up to your full potential? Because if you're not living up to your full potential, you're mediocre. Okay? But what we're going to do today is talk about how do you go from mediocre to mogul. So, I see some of you guys putting up the church fingers. I see your church fingers. I see your church fingers. Hey, I put my church finger up too. Even who I am, where I am right now. I know I've been called for more. I know I have more to give. I know I have more to offer. I am mediocre in some areas too. In my fitness, in my relationships, like there are places and things that I need to do better that I know are in me to be better. And so I too sometimes operate from the spirit of mediocre, but today we're going to cast that out. So what is stopping you from going from mediocre to mogul? For some, it's recognizing what a mogul is. Some people don't even know what a mogul is. I was at an event this past weekend. I was at an event this past weekend and somebody said, I'm going to take your class, but I really don't know what it means to be a mogul. And I said, bless you, my child. Bless you, my child. Come to my class. I will tell you what it means to be a mogul. I will knight you mogul, is what I told her. And so let me give you my definition for what it means to be a mogul, because too often we look to your Jay-Z, your Beyonce, your Oprah Winfrey, your Steve Jobs, your Michael Dell, your Bezos of Amazon. We look to those people as moguls and say, I'm never going to be them. And you're right. You are never going to be them. You're never going to be Oprah. You're never going to be Jeff Bezos. You're never going to be Steve Jobs. You're not. But you know who you are going to be? You're going to be Vincent Crawford. You're going to be Farrah Fry. You're going to be Richard Gilbert. You're going to be Tanisha Wagner. You're going to be Stacey Graham. That's who you're going to be. So let me tell you what a mogul is. A mogul is simply a person who has tapped into their full power and potential and doesn't take no for an answer. That is it. That's all it is. That's what a mogul is. That's it. When I talk about being a mogul, I ask people all the time, which came first, Oprah or the mogul? Which came first? The money or the mogul? Which came first? The mogul always comes first. Your mindset comes first. Your actions come first. Your belief in yourself comes first. Your attitude towards your goals comes first. Your faith in the things that you want to achieve in your life, that comes first. Your mogul comes before the money, before the power, before the fame, before anything else, because it's your tenacity. It's your desire. It's your walk. It's your ability to connect with something so intensely that you have to birth it and see it come to life. Which is why I say you can be a mogul of anything. You can be a business mogul. You can be an entrepreneur mogul. You can be a wife mogul. You can be a student mogul. You can be a husband mogul. You can be an architect mogul. Anything you do with power and with excellence that you refuse to say no to, that you put all of your heart and your energy into, you can mogul. The Urban Dictionary says that a mogul is simply a person who has power in a particular business or industry. And that power is gained from skill, expertise, practice. That means any one of us can have it. That means any one of us can do it. Do you know how to practice? Do you know how to up your skills? If you do, you can be a mogul. So, what's stopping you from going from mediocre to mogul? What's stopping you from looking at a job and saying, I know I can get this job because I'm qualified, but let me apply for the job above it because I'm unsure, right? A lot of times when we're mediocre or we live in a place of comfortability, we only strike out and try to achieve the goals we know we can succeed, the goals we know we can meet. So we stretch, we push ourselves, we get out of ourselves, we do a little something that makes us uncomfortable, but not enough for us to fail. Not enough for us to take big risks. Just enough for us to be like, oh, well, I achieved something, or I'm doing better than she is, or I'm doing better than he is, but not I catapulted and left them in the dust. Not I wasn't qualified for that, but I applied for it anyway and God blessed me with it. Not I don't know if I can do this, but I'm still going to step out on faith and see what happens. We don't necessarily walk that walking in that realm. And that's what it means to be a mogul. It doesn't mean you have $1 million in the bank. It means you know how to get $1 million in the bank, if that's what you want, right? Your mogul's not going to look like anybody else's mogul. As long as you try to live up to the expectations of what somebody else is doing, whether it be Oprah, Jay-Z, Sharon Combs, whoever the case might be, you may feel insignificant, but your mogul in your life is not measured by the mogul of somebody else's life. You don't have to be Oprah's kind of mogul. You have to be your kind of mogul. What is your secret power? What is your secret sauce? Where does your power lie? And are you living up to that? Are you living up to your full potential? Are you giving your life all of your power? Are you putting all of your energy and zest and moxie and being into what God created you with and gave you so that you can live this life? Everything that you need to do whatever it is that you want to do, you already have it. Everything you need, you already have. Everything you need to do everything you want to do, you already have. Have you tapped into it? Have you called on it? Have you used it? Have you elevated yourself to be able to use it? Have you strengthened your muscle to use it? Let's talk about how to be a mogul today. So we talked about what you can mogul, right? You can mogul your fitness. You can mogul your words that come out of your mouth. You can mogul your relationships. You can mogul your work ethic. Anything you do with power and excellence, that you don't say no, that you go after, that you don't quit, is something that you can be a mogul at. It's something that you can be a mogul in. How do you be a mogul today? Because again, you don't have to wait till you have money. You don't have to wait till you get the position. You don't have to wait till everything works out, because as you know, sometimes things don't work out. And if you're waiting for everything to line up, you're going to be waiting a long time. And I don't know about you, but I ain't got time to wait. I don't got time to wait. I don't know. Y'all over here in the comments, let me know if you got time to wait. If you don't have time to wait, put I don't got time to wait, because I need to know if I'm talking to the right people. I'm 42. I'll be 43 next month. I need whatever's going to pop right now. Like, right now. You know what I'm saying? Going from mediocre to mogul is legit. It's what I do. It's what I help others people do. People come to me. They say they want to write a book. I say, cool. What do you need to write a book? Let's write a book. People come to me. They say, hey, I want to be promoted. I want to get a different job. I say, hey, let's look at what you have. What are you working with? These are your talents. These are your skills. Let's lay these out. Let's get you the next job. Let's get you promoted. People come to me. I want to start a business. Cool. What are your skills? How can we do that? Like, you can go from mediocre to mogul. You don't have to live in the life, in the situation, in the environment, in the mindset, in the body, in the position that you are currently in, because you have the power to fix it. Oprah didn't become Oprah because somebody, her fairy godmother, came around with a wand and was like, I bequeath you Oprah. That's not how it happened. One day, something shifted in her and she was like, I'm going to rock this thing. I'm not going to say no. I'm going to make changes. I'm going to do this with my life. And then she kept on doing it until she got to where she is. You have that same ability. You can go from mediocre to mogul. Right now, today, on EBT, with no money in the bank, with no friends, with no business idea, with no idea what kind of book you're going to write, with none of that, you can start training your mogul. Change your environment. Change your friendships. Change what you watch on TV. Change what goes into your mind. Change what comes out of your mouth. Right now, today, I bequeath all of you guys mogul. You are, and you get a mogul, 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 and you get a mogul. All y'all is moguls. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? Do you believe that today you are a mogul? If you do, then your work ethic will show it. Your ideology will show it. How you move will show it. I didn't say your bank account will show it. You, your person, that is going to show me that you have turned and said, I am a mogul today. And then in 5 years, I'm going to see it. And in 10 years, I'm going to see it. And in 20 years, your children will see it. And in 50 years, your children's children will see it. And in 100 years, when you decide that you are a mogul, you change the legacy and the outcome of your family for years and years to come. Your one choice, your one decision, it changes things, right? If somebody, a parent, somebody they go to jail, that changes the destination and the destiny of people in that person's life for years to come. They see something, whatever it may be. You start a business that you can pass on to your children, that changes their destination. That changes that generation for years to come. You write a book, you show how to be promoted, you show how to buy real estate. Like, it doesn't, whatever you do that you say, I'm going to mogul this thing. I'm going to be excellent in this area. I'm going to put forth my power and my strength in this area. I'm going to elevate in this area. Whatever you do that you show to your children, you have changed your legacy and their future forever. But you got to go from mediocre to mogul. If you stay mediocre and you only do what you're comfortable doing and you only show them what's comfortable, guess what they're going to do? They're going to live a comfortable life too. Not all, because we have outliers, right? We have people that go on to do great things. But what if Oprah wasn't an outlier? What if she wasn't a phenomenon? What if she wasn't the only one? What if Jay-Z wasn't the only one? What if Sean Combs wasn't the only one? What if there was 100 of those types of people walking the world, walking the earth? What if the majority of us in our community live that life? What if I could really make you believe that you are a mogul, that you have potential, that you have power, that there's another level to you? What if? How do you become a mogul today? You start training today. You start training. You have to retrain yourself of everything you've ever thought. You have to retrain yourself. Faith, belief, environment, circumstances, getting clear on what it is that you want, getting clear on where it is that you want to go. Don't take no for an answer. Get around other people who believe in you. Get around other people who speak life into you, who speak life into your situation. Get around people who are willing to invest in you and show you the way. It's hard to feel like a mogul when nobody else around you is mogul. And it's hard to feel like a mogul when nobody else around you has the same type of ideologies and conversation that you have. Those are pieces of being a mogul. It's necessary. I said this at the event I just spoke at. Thank goodness for Gail. Thank goodness Oprah had Gail. Sometimes you might not be Oprah. Sometimes you might be Gail. Sometimes you might not even reach to the top with the person you bring on. If we're talking about Jay-Z, Dane didn't even make it to the top with Jay. Jay had to be like, hey, I'm about to go the rest of the road by myself. And I know right now he's in a crazy PR thing right now, but we're talking about the onset of fame. So, I know he's going a little crazy right now, but we ain't gonna talk about that. What we're talking about right now is just your environment, the people that are around you, the people that speak life into you, the people that are going to help to push or pull you to the next level. It starts with you. You get to make the choice and decision to go from mediocre to mogul. Yes, Vincent, mogul in training. You know where I'm going with this, right? When I first became an entrepreneur, I had no idea what I was doing. None. And when I tell you none, I mean none. I had $50,000 in the bank and an idea. That's what I had. But I started with my mindset and I started hashtagging mogul in training, mogul in training, mogul in training. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I was going to be excellent at it. Mogul in training, mogul in training. I'm not exactly sure where this road is going to take me, but I know I need to be in control of my own destiny. Mogul in training, mogul in training. I got my bachelor's degree in organizational innovation. I was like, even if I don't run my own business, if I'm not going to be the CEO of my business, I'm going to be the CEO of somebody's business. So I got organizational innovation. Then I went and I got my MBA. And then I left my job. And I started my own business. And I said, I can teach people how to run their business like a corporation. I used to my last job was at a aerospace company, $1 billion aerospace company, right? My leg of this organization was worth $750 million, but the whole company itself was worth $1 billion. And it was the CEO, the president, and me, a little black girl, sitting in executive meetings with the president, the vice president, the VP of operations, the VP of R&D, you know what I'm saying? Like me, with a room full of white men, sitting at the head of the table, talking to them about strategy, talking to them about R&D, talking to them about 5-year plans. That literally was the last job I had before I became a full-time entrepreneur. And I left because I was like, my community, my people, we need to know how to run businesses like a corporation. We need to know how to go from employee to CEO to executive. No, employee to entrepreneur to executive. We get stuck at entrepreneur. We get stuck at just enough. And I don't want you guys to be there. I don't want any of you guys to be there. I want all of you guys to be moguls. I knighted you mogul. I gave you permission to be a mogul. I gave you permission to go and find your higher self. If it's permission that you need, I hope you don't need permission, but if it is permission that you need, I'm giving it to you right now. Go and be great. Follow your dream. Don't be basic. Don't be ordinary. Don't just be happy to have the dream. Live it. Bring it to life. Birth it. Don't just start a business and say, oh, I started a business. Get you $1 million business. And then after that, a $5 million business. And then after that, a $10 million business. We aren't doing mediocre no more. We're not doing basic. We're not doing this level. Everything from here on out. If you know me, if you're associated with me, if you listen to my voice, if you share my podcast, if you listen to my podcast, mediocre to mogul. And again, I'm not preaching to you. I'm mediocre too. Every single person you know is mediocre. Everybody. If they only got 1 million, ask them how come they don't have 5. You mediocre, millionaire. If they only got 5 million, they're mediocre too. How come you don't got 10? Mediocre. This is not a money thing. This is not a status thing. This is are you living up to your fullest potential thing? That's what this is. I'm going to be real clear on that. Mediocre versus mogul. Mediocre just says you're doing what everybody else is doing. It doesn't matter if it's in your relationship, in your finances, in your job. It just means you're doing what everybody else is doing. Mogul simply means you are living up to your fullest potential, to your fullest power. You don't take no for an answer, and you're operating in excellence. That is it. It's not a money thing. It's not a power thing. It's a lifestyle thing. It's a mindset thing. It's a who are you and what are you made of thing. If you cool being like everybody else, hey, so be it. But if you know that you were called to do something greater, if you know that there's something in you to do more, to be better, I challenge you, I implore you, I call you to go from mediocre to mogul. If you need help, if you're like, I don't know if I can do this by myself, like, I don't really get it, you can always try Meet Mogul in Training. That is my monthly coaching platform, which I will be talking to you guys about tomorrow because it's about to completely be different. Everything is changing. I have been operating mediocrely. That's not even a word, but I just made it up. I have a coach now. My coach came to me and looked at all my stuff and he was like, you are operating on such a low frequency. Why are your prices this low? Why is this low? No, everything goes up. Like, we all do it. We all play it safe. Everybody plays it safe. We do what we're comfortable doing because we know we can. I know I can do this. I know this outcome. I know I'm gonna be successful here. So we do just enough to, like, yeah, I told you, I knew it, I got it, I did what I was supposed to do. Then we flex like we did something that we already knew we could do. Here's your cookie. Show me that you could do something that you didn't know you could do. Show me when you do something that you're uncertain about. Show me what you do when you're afraid. That's what I want to see, because that's what moguls do. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to see. All right? So I'm going to close today's podcast with this. Are you mediocre or are you a mogul? I already ordained you all moguls today, but I need to know if you believe it. Okay? Next week, we're going to be talking about, is your business mediocre? What? Yes, Lord, we're going to be talking about your business next week. We're going to see if you operate your business mediocre, because if you are, it's time to take it to the next level. I have been operating my business mediocre. $49 for my mogul in training, $149 for my group coaching. Everything is changing. From now, I'm only pushing my mogul in training coaching. Everything is going up. Literally. Like, get you around some people who you may not see your value, but somebody else sees it. And then they get behind you and be like, no, we're about to do this differently. You're undervaluing yourself. You're worth more. You have more to give. You have more to offer. And if you don't have anybody like that, come sit by me. If you don't know anybody that knows how to speak life into your situation, come sit by me. And if you're not ready to invest in yourself, tune into the podcast every Thursday. You can catch me here live on Thursdays at 12 o'clock p.m. Pacific Coast time, 3 o'clock p.m. East Coast time. I do record the podcast live. Normally, I record it on Facebook. Today, I went ahead and tried it on Instagram. Shout out to Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in live on Instagram. I will let you guys know, I'm about to start popping and locking on Instagram. So if you do not follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is about to be pop, lock, and dropping. I love Facebook. I love my family on Facebook. Thank you guys for supporting me and watching me. But I got to start showing a little bit love on this platform. And I'm going to talk about it next week when we do Is Your Business Mediocre? I'm going to talk to you guys about how I have elevated my business from being mediocre to mogul. And here's the thing. It's not a one-time thing. You don't just go from mediocre to mogul one time, because every level has another level. It's a lifetime thing. You go from mediocre $50,000 to mogul $100,000. Then $100,000 becomes mediocre. So you have to go from $100,000 mediocre to $250,000 mogul. Then $250,000 becomes mediocre. Then you have to go from $250,000 to $5. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a lifetime thing. When you get 1 billion, you want 2. It does not stop. It's a lifestyle thing. It's what keeps us from becoming complacent and just staying where we are and getting comfortable. Okay, so you can catch me live. Let me give another shout out to our sponsor. Shout out to Beautiful Men and Women. I will be in New York next week on September 22nd for the Focus 2020 Vision event. We are going to be on the yacht. We're going to be talking about business development. We're going to be talking about your marketing. They're doing image shots, headshots. It's going to be the bomb. It's going down. Go to focus2020vision.com. Again, that's focus2020vision.com. If you're in the New York area and you'd like to come check me out, I'll be there for 4 days. So all my clients and all my folks and all my people that are in the New York area, I will be setting something up so that I can see you, because I will be there for 4 days. I think that's it. Hopefully you guys got something out of today's podcast. It was really on my heart to talk to you guys about this whole mediocre to mogul thing. I am about to dedicate my entire life to making sure that I transform my community from mediocre to mogul. We have too much to give. We are too resilient. We are the strongest of the strongest. We are better than our environment and our circumstances and our situations. We have been called. We are the leaders. We are the people. And I have taken it upon myself personally to make sure that anybody I know and everybody that I touch be transformed from mediocre to mogul. You are powerful. You are great. And you have more to give this world than what you are putting out. With that, I am your girl, Lene Javette. Most of you guys know me as the Mogulist. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you next week for Is Your Business Mediocre? Peace out.